Welcome back to Hit Points Gaming. In today's episode, I wanted to basically give an update of where we are in terms of board games with this channel, what we've been playing, and announce our next full campaign that we will be starting shortly. First thing I want to mention that tonight we'll be doing a podcast. Chris and Doug will be joining me. We will be talking about our experience at PAX East this last weekend. There's a few games that I'll be covering that in the board game section. One of them is this game called Catan. It is a card deck building system that has a board where you're like you're a leader of a cult, basically, and the Dark Lord's coming, and you want to gather the most power before the Dark Lord comes, so then you'll still be left alive when Armageddon does hit. I've really enjoyed this game, and if you want to find out more, you can check tonight's podcast out. Second thing that we saw there is going to be a Street Fighter card game. We'll cover that as well. And Hit Points Gaming finally got introduced to the Tiny Epic Games line. I picked up a few of these, and Epic Zombies we tried out one night while we were all together, so I think those are going to be some of the discussion points in the podcast. So if you're interested, you can listen to that. One game that both Chris and I, and Andrea as well, have played recently, and it was a game that's been out for a long time. We've never tried it, but I did pick up the Anniversary Edition, and I just wanted to mention real quick, Stone Age. Okay, if you haven't played this worker placement game, you definitely need to go out, either purchase the Anniversary Edition or even the basic one. As I was reading the rules, I didn't think much of the game. I do have to say that right away. It kind of seems very basic. I really like games that are really involved. Every turn something's different is happening. I do like worker placements, and I just didn't know if this was going to be the right fit. 3 rounds into the game might completely change my mind. This game is a ton of fun, okay? I haven't had much fun in a what I'll call like a basic level game in a very long time. Very easy to learn, to teach. We just had a blast. And I've only played it with 2 players so far. Really looking forward to getting a game with Chris and Andrea together. I might even introduce this to some of our neighbors across the street as like an intro-level game. Lots of fun. That's Stone Age. Definitely check it out. All right. Some of the videos that we've put out recently. We released our 3rd episode of Ultimate Werewolf Legacy. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can definitely check out. 3 episodes are up. Now it's up to us to gather all of the players that got together for another night. We did all of those games all in one night. I think it was New Year's Eve. It's kind of tough to plan a game like this, especially with Legacy, because you really want to have the same group of people getting together, and getting 10 to 15 people together is tough, let alone even a Legacy game that has 3 or 4 players. So now the latest episode is up, we're planning on getting another gaming group together, hopefully get 2 or 3 videos out. So we will be continuing that series. If you want to start the first episode, you can check it out and see if you like it. Okay. Now, the whole point of this video is to announce what we are going to be doing moving forward. And that is this large game right here. All right? This is Medora. Basically, it's the new, not Kingdom Death, not Gloomhaven, Medora game. All right? Look at this huge box. It's a story-driven heroes, adventure mode like you've heard in every other game, right? But I did back this on Kickstarter. This was like 4 years ago. And then I stopped following it because I was really excited when it got announced. I really liked the game. And I think I was, getting interested in playing Kingdom Death. And I just kind of stopped looking at the updates for this game. I wanted to wait for it to actually come out to look at it, and here we are. I know there was a delay of the US actually getting their shipments in, but we just got it, and we are going to be doing a playthrough of Medora, the campaign. Again, we did a lot with Gloomhaven. I think we did like maybe 16 or 17 episodes, and we did stop we haven't gone back to it. Although we've wanted to, Andrea and I have been hung up on a lot of other games, so but I guess that's good, right? But Medora, we definitely want to give this a shot. I do have to say that Andrea is a little under the weather, or else we would be putting out some episodes right away. But it does give me time to read the rules, look at some of the videos online. They do a really good, there's a bunch of videos online that teach you how to play the game. I'm going through that right now because, you know, we always make mistakes in the campaigns, and I do rely on our viewers to point that out. But the plan is to start Medora and follow the same process that we did with Kingdom Death. Maybe really an episode a week, maybe like Friday nights. We would always have an episode out because it is a long campaign game. We do want to get through it. There's a lot of story involved. So yeah, that's our next goal and where we're going to be putting a lot of our attention to. So of course there's still Seafall out there. We've got a few more episodes left of Seafall that we need to get together and finish. My only issue with Seafall, if you haven't watched it yet, we're towards the very end. And I just don't know when the game is going to end. It sounds like there's a trigger for it to actually end, but if the players don't want the game to end, I think it will just keep going on and on. And I don't know if I'm in the position to actually change it, so I don't know when that series is going to end. We definitely need to finish it, right? Because it was like a year before we had an episode, and then we did 2 or 3 of them. So Seafall's still there when we can get together. When we can all get together, we're doing Werewolf. But yeah, Andrea and I are going to turn our attentions to Medora. Now, just to give you some information about this game, this is not the rule book. This is just the adventure book, right? And this is Act 1. So here are all the missions, all the story quests, side missions, everything in here. And what's really cool is the game comes with an app, and all of the story missions, well, all the story text can be done through the app. So now you don't have to listen to myself or Andrea speak and butcher all the words. There's actually going to be an app that does that. So stay tuned for that. I'm pretty excited to see what this game, what the story does about this game, right? And a few things that I'm looking forward to this, and then the few things that I'm kind of worried about. I'll kind of say it here before I really learn all the rules and play test it out. So we talked about the story, right? What's really cool about this game is even if you fail a mission, the story still progresses. At least that's what I've seen so far. So, you know, whether your objective is to, you know, like get to point A to point B. Let's say bring this magical sword and drop it in a well. Well, if you trip and fall and die and the sword doesn't get to the well and like an evil sorcerer comes over, the game doesn't end. It's just branches now. The story goes this way. So I find that pretty cool. You know, in Gloomhaven, like if we lost a mission, we're like, oh, crap, we're going to have to start all over. Luckily, we never did, but how would we handle that? Especially in Kingdom Death. You get a party wipe, now you're severely hurt. I know your characters can die in this, and we will play that way, but it's really cool to see how the story's going to branch, and we're going to have a different story than everyone else out there who's playing the game. So there will be spoilers, of course, but we will have our own unique story. So definitely look into that. Looking forward to the way that you get items. There's going to be an item deck, and totally different set of items from mundane to uncommon to common to uniques, and the way that you gather those and craft them. I've got a feeling of Gloomhaven, Kingdom Death, where there's monster loot, and then we can craft certain items that way. Really interesting twist to it. I really like that. Some things that I'm a little... Oh, and then just the way that you can tailor your hero, right? There's going to be different, I guess, classes or way you can inspect your hero and get upgrades. You basically have free reign to go in any tree that you want, which is pretty interesting. Of course, it's going to cost more XP as you branch around, but we can really develop our characters the way that we want. I'm excited for that. I know Andrea really likes games where she can get close to her characters and build it the way that she wants, so I think she'll have a good time with this one. Things that I'm a little nervous about. One, actually just the combat system, right? So the story and the way that you can get items and everything, all of that can be great, but if the actual combat is dry, it doesn't work right, it's just not exciting, right? I know you guys watch to watch our videos and see how we do and learn about the story and maybe you like watching us, but if the game itself is actually boring, then it's not going to hook you in, right? If the main mechanics of combat, you know, either it's not enough or it's too difficult to follow, it could really hurt a game. So I don't know yet. That, of course, I'm going to find out when we start. You know, how you're hitting and the creature defends and gets armor. I don't know. So we'll see. And the second one is actually the number of different bad guys in this game. I don't know if there's enough variety yet. So let's say for like Imperial Assault or Descent, right? I feel like there's a lot of bad guys that you're going to run into, a lot of different kinds. Now again, that's probably because there's a lot of expansions that have come out for it that, of course, have built that base up. So, you know, the base game only came with a few, so I guess that's kind of what this is like. And then when you think of Kingdom Death, you know, how many bad guys are in that you see? 4 or 5 in a campaign, 6 in a campaign, so I don't know, maybe I take that back. I just want it to be exciting for our viewers. That's why you're here, right? So, yeah, that's really it. I wanted to give you a heads up of what we're going to be doing. Let us know if you're interested in seeing Medora, if you've actually picked up a copy, and if you liked it. Maybe you can comment on some of the things that I brought up that I'm a little nervous about, or some points that you really like. But yeah, I felt it was just important for me to get out here and tell you guys what we're going to be doing with HitPoints Gaming in the future. There's going to be a big undertaking. And of course, we're still going to be getting together for some of our flash reviews of smaller games that we put together, and then maybe jump back onto the podcast and whatnot. So I'm going to get ready for that. So yeah, just want to get this out here. Definitely appreciate everyone who follows us, definitely on Twitter, Instagram, even reaches out to us through email. We definitely speak to a lot of reviewers that way. So we really appreciate the support. Of course, like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll be able to be in touch with our next big campaign. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys soon.